O'Neill Outside Radio is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Works Power and Garden Tools. Toyota, let's go places. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Big Green Egg, the most popular and most versatile ceramic grill. Huff Shed, great storage sheds and custom buildings. Year One, classic car parts for American muscle cars. Arctic Ice, the most durable, versatile, and effective cooler packs available. Timbuktu Outdoors, the ideal solution to live bait. Furminator, the best food plot implement on earth. And the Georgia Department of Natural Resources and State Parks.
Good morning, boys and girls, from Black Powder Headquarters and the Three Falls Cabin in North Georgia. This is Works Radio. Welcome to the program, everyone. We've got a busy morning. 2 hours of outdoors headed your way. And think about this. No politics, no business. Just the two of us as a group talking about outdoors. Hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, outdoors, conservation, wildlife. Why not join us for a couple of hours? It'll certainly be very refreshing, I hope. And so welcome to the program. We have my opportunity to tell you that this program is brought to you by Works, Striplings, Tough Shed, Snellville Heating and Air, Rocco's Pub, the Department of Natural Resources, O'Neill's Podcast, the Furminator Food Plot, Arctic Ice, Ice Packs, and True Turn Hooks and Roadrunner Lures. And we have a busy morning at 7 after the hour. We have the tackle tips, the mailbag. In the second hour, we will do the radio prize package, the Medal of Honor tribute, and, of course, your calls. And if you'd like to participate in the program, telephone numbers are 404-872-0750 in the greater Atlanta, Georgia area, and 800-972-8255. That's 800-972-8255. You can hear us on WSB 95.5 FM and 750 AM and the Sports Broadcast Radio Network, 156 stations across the country from WEEI in the Northeast all the way to Seattle, LA, San Francisco, to the tip of Florida. So let's take some time for the outdoors and some conservation and those subjects. What do you say? I'm sick of this political atmosphere, we'll call it. Am I not being kind? Yes, I am. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. I will tell you in the second hour, we will have an account of a hero, a Medal of Honor recipient. This is O'Neill. We'll be back. Before we get to our first caller this morning, it's my privilege to invite you to watch O'Neill Outside Television. And you can watch it on Fox Networks, Waypoint TV, Carbon TV, Destination Go Television, Pursuit Up Television, and on and on and on, and YouTube, and you can visit o'neilloutside.com and see all the shows for the last 5 or 6 years, and listen to the radio podcast on all those things I just mentioned, plus Apple TV. It's good grief, O'Neill's everywhere. It's unbelievable. So let's get to our first caller this morning because I have something coming up I think you're going to enjoy and get some benefit from. So Wade is calling, and I always enjoy hearing from Wade. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Lovely.
I'm down here at your hidden coast in Florida.
Oh. What are you doing down there?
You know what I'm doing. He done bought that place across the street. So I'm slinging drywall. I'm about to be slinging some paint.
There you go. Make it a productive day.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, I think you used the word enterprising. You understated my man on that one. He done a good job on it. I'm proud of my boy Kyle.
Good, that's good.
He laid this place out and remodeled inside of it.
Uh-huh.
He's a landscaping expert. That blame he done turn that construction worker.
Well, I'm sure he's got plenty of work to do.
Oh, yeah, it looks good there.
Good. I'm glad to hear
it. I have a couple questions for you.
Go.
I've talked to you a couple of weeks. I've been on the road.
Right.
Now you let a secret out of the bag a couple of years ago, and I ain't gonna throw you under the bus, but full moon's coming up next month.
Uh-huh.
And my nephew them been killing the crappie on Lake Lanier.
Oh, yeah.
Had something about yesterday. He had something about 2 pounds.
Oh, boy.
How about him and Kyle? Yeah, we're down here working. Him and Kyle's up there fishing, duck hunting and fishing.
Don't you hate it?
Yeah, well, but you went up the river with some of them DNR boys a couple years ago, and they taught you what to do in February.
Yes, right. I'll tell everybody because we've opened the bag and it's a good thing. If you will go up the Chestatee River in Lake Lanier in the month of February, especially the February full moon, and you can tell how far you need to go, Wade, because if your boat's not bumping on the rocks, you're not far enough.
And live bait.
You bet. Live bait, and they won't bite till about the last hour of daylight.
So you won't be right there at dusk. Okay.
You bet. You got to know your way back to the ramp in the dark.
Oh yeah, they can maneuver that.
Yeah. And I'm not. And Wade, have you done that before?
No, you talked about it. You let the cat out of the bag a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna land out. I got to look at my calendar. It's gonna land out, or I'm gonna be right down the road from you fishing in Billy's Lake with your favorite color green,
okay,
or crappie.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be in Buford a day or two, then LJ, and then I'm back to Bowling Green.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad to have you down here, but to the people that are going to have an opportunity for that walleye fishing in the Chestatee River, we're not talking about 12-inch walleye or 14-inch walleye. We're talking about 20 and 25-inch walleye. We're talking about giants.
I've caught 2 out of Lake Lanier, O'Neill. I've been alive as long as you've been married.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, thank the good Lord. Yeah, my birthday was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, boy.
I've been alive as long as you've been married. I've only caught 2 out of there. Both of them was fishing with red fins at night for stripers.
Okay.
And there was one about 3, one about 4. But I ain't ever caught some of them bigger than you talking about being in there.
We're talking about walleye arm's length long.
They say that's good eating.
Oh, it is. I have to tell you, it's the best of all freshwater fish. The walleye is probably the best. It's better than crappie and it's better than bluegill. But I mean, it's not overwhelmingly better, but it's better.
Yeah, I've heard it's the best tasting fish. Now I got an update on those elk in Kentucky for you.
Okay, please.
They're a subspecies. They're a smaller elk. They're called the Roosevelt elk.
Okay.
And it's a subspecies of the big ones that's out west.
Right. This is named for Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes, sir, because he's the conservationist president, the best thing we ever had in office.
Yes.
And we don't talk politics.
No.
And let me give a shout out to 2 of your sponsors.
Okay.
I had lunch at Rocco's.
Oh yeah.
And I'm about to put some Swaggerty sausage in the pan. So as soon as it's daylight, I can't be slinging no fishing pole. I'm going to be slinging paint at daylight.
I understand. Well, I always love to hear from you, Wade. It's always an energetic call and on to the subjects. And, hey, I look for you to hurry back to Bowling Green and call me from there.
Hey, I got a chance to do something next week I ain't done in 2 years.
Okay.
I'm going to put my feet in that Chattahoochee River.
Oh, boy. Don't let one of these trout bite you.
Right below the dam, and I'm going to catch me and Brown.
Yes, sir. There's plenty of them in there. Probably.
One more quick question.
Go.
What's the difference in a shoal bass and a Bartram bass?
I don't know. I know what a shoal bass is, but I don't know what the other one is.
Bartram was a famous, I guess you call him a biologist. He traveled around kind of Audubon with the birds.
Okay.
And he went up and down Georgia and Florida. Labeling the species of fish.
Well,
now I've seen a red-eye bass is what we call a shoal bass.
Mm-hmm.
And these boys up in Kentucky, they call it Kentucky bass. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but
it's
that's
a bass with red eyes.
Yeah, that's a different bass. A Kentucky bass and a shoal bass is a different thing.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, listen, have a good one, son. Good to hear from you this morning. It's great to start off with a good call.
I'm glad to talk to you on this. Look, don't dump me now, because I'm down here, and I got to listen to you on my speakerphone.
Okay, I got you. I'll put you back on hold.
I'm trying to get you on 107 in Kentucky.
Oh, good.
I want to get you syndicated up there where I can hear you at home.
Mighty fine.
But I ain't got my computer, so I got to listen to you on speaker. Thank you, O'Neill. Y'all
You
have
bet.
a great day. Everybody in Georgia, be safe. Have a good day.
You bet.
And
I'll
buy
put
your
you back on
trout
hold, pal.
Buy your trout down.
You bet. See you later. There you go. Let's put him back on hold, and Wade can still listen. This is O'Neill with O'Neill Outside and Works Radio. So let's don't drop him, boys. Okay, it's 19 after the hour. Quickly, it's time for your January boat check. Those of you north of here, especially with the boats that are in the slips, and even around here during cold weather, it's time to check out your boat in the wintertime. If you're one of these cruise-type boats that you're not fishing out of that boat and it's just sitting there in the dock, check it out. Go by and visit. But there's a couple of surprising things I want to tell you. I've done this before. I'm going to do it again right now, so just hold on, okay? Number one, don't go by yourself. 2 of you go, because the docks are slippery, they're wet, sometimes they're frozen, getting in and out of the boat. If you fall in, you're going to die. All right? You need somebody to help you out. Number 2, always wear your life preserver checking out your boat during the wintertime for obvious reasons. I tell you, it would be an old man like me, it would be hard to climb back up on the dock if you ever fell in. Wintertime boat check, okay? Check everything out, top everything off, wipe off everything, make it dry, keep it going. You'll be ready for springtime. 20 and a half minutes after the hour, 404-872-0750 in Atlanta. And just like Wade just used, an 800-972-8255, which translates to 972 is WSB Talk, T-A-L-K. So when we return, we'll have the mailbag. And you can get to the mailbag every year, or every week, or every day, by going to O'NeillOutside.com. A lot of people do that. Right in the middle of the home page, you will see a spot right there for you to enter your question, your comment, and so on. And we often have prizes. Likely, too, on that home page, too, you can purchase O'Neill Outside, People and Places Along the Way. My first book, I've got another one coming out pretty soon, but I'm kind of lazy. That book is called O'Neill Outside, People and Places Along the Way. And if you order it there on the home page at O'NeillOutside.com, I'll autograph it and I'll personalize it. I'll make it to you. And knowing this is not John Steinbeck, it's just O'Neill. We'll be back. 25 after the hour, we want to get to the mailbags. We do have some calls here, but I'm going to get to every one of them in a moment, I promise. First of all, and you can go to the mailbag at O'NeillOutside.com right there in the middle. Just it says enter here and type in your question. Here's one from John Sawyer in Mobile, Alabama. He says, O'Neill, between the end of deer season and before turkey season, what should I do while in the woods with my young grandson to keep him interested in the outdoors? This may be a surprise answer. We've handled it a little bit before. Take up squirrel hunting. It's the 2 of you. You don't have to be quiet all the time. You cover a lot of territory. You get to see a lot of game. And if I recommend you use a 410 single shot instead of a 22. As far as I'm concerned, a 22 is a dangerous rifle because it goes so far. You can shoot squirrels with the 410. And you get lots of shots, and the limit is liberal, and you get to spend time in the woods. All you have to do is walk 10 feet and sit down and be quiet. And they'll start their activity and their barking and so on, and you'll find them again. So go squirrel hunting, John. Secondly, Pete Blanchard from Jackson, Mississippi. O'Neill, I gave your book. O'Neill, I gave your book a good friend to read. He loved the stories and the recipes. Yeah, there's 13 with photos, big green egg recipes in that book. And he enjoys the website. He's not computer savvy, but he does listen to a lot of stations. He's a truck driver, and I know your show goes nationwide. Let everybody know. You can listen to the show at on your cell phone and on the SB Nation. Look for it, the SB Nation, Sports Broadcast Nation. So, but that squirrel hunting is a big deal. Big deal. Mike Walter Raleigh, North Carolina. I've enjoyed your show for decades. I love the way you include your grandson, Travis, in the show over the years. He said, I quail and pheasant hunted 4 days with Travis in Texas, and I didn't know it was your Travis until the end of the last day. He was a pleasure to hunt with and accepted teasing with a smile. His dog handling skills were good. I thought he seemed familiar, but with a beard and all grown up, I didn't put it together. Congratulations on raising such a fine grandson. I accept your compliments. He is an outstanding hunter. 27 after the hour. Let's, we don't know who that is right now. Or do we? Hold on, boys. And that's Roy. Let's talk to Roy on O'Neill Outside. Good morning, Roy. You're on the radio. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Outstanding. Glad you called.
Yeah, I've got a kind of concern that, I live out here in West Georgia.
Okay.
And I'm an outdoor avid fisherman. And,
Uh-oh, did I lose Roy? Doggone it, Roy, I lost you, sir.
Bill.
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yes, sir. Or you were talking about living in West Georgia.
A year ago. Yes, sir, out in Carroll County.
Uh-huh, okay.
And I built a pond about a year ago, and my neighbors up the hill there, they built the chicken house. And, and I was beginning to concern about myself because my property line joins our property line where my little pond is.
Uh-huh.
And my fishes, I think that whenever they spread the fertilizer and everything, it's getting down to my lake.
Uh-huh.
And it's trying to be kind of concerned because, the past a few weeks, I went out there and I was like, the fish is dying, and I went to the neighbor and I told him about it, and and I didn't know if the ammonia would actually, something from the chicken house being cleaned, being washed up with all the rain and everything, getting down in my lake. I didn't know if it might be something that, I could be concerned about, or
well, if it's killing
is it a very harmful thing?
Well, if it's killing the fish, you should be. What? You know what I would recommend, and and I'm really sorry for this because we all live so close together now. Have you already called a biologist or a company that can advise you on this?
No, sir, I haven't. And, on a man's property, it's well away from the chicken house is well away from the pond itself.
Mm-hmm.
But when he spreads on the pasture, it with the rain and as much rain we've had this past, months, and it's gotten down into my lake, and I was concerned about it.
Well,
it's something that needs to be taken care of.
Let me tell you, my first recommendation, and I don't know if they can help you or not, but they might be able to advise you to speak to somebody else, whether you could be concerned, not be concerned, and all those things. Telephone the Department of Natural Resources. Look them up on the internet, get the telephone number, and telephone the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. They have people that would know that. I don't know whether they would have somebody to do anything about it, and there may not be anything for you to do about it, but at least they could answer your questions.
Yeah, well, see, my wife thinks it's the oxygen levels, and I was like, well, it's not the oxygen. It's got to be something coming down from that, from spreading the field.
But it's killing the fish.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is.
And she may be right.
It's aggravated.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I didn't know. And I've kind of Googled on ammonia. It's bad to be around the lake with any kind of chicken house or anything that. And I was like, well, and I was going to call the department, but you're dealing with people that they're trying to make money off the chicken
everybody's trying to make a living. That's right. Telephone
my outdoor fun.
Sure. Telephone the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, and they can advise you, I'm sure. So here's your first step. You called a knucklehead like me, and at least I gave you somebody else to call.
All right. I do appreciate it. I just had to get somebody else's opinion because I listen to you all the time.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. I really do. And maybe they could be some help. They likely will be able to help you and give you some ideas about that. But obviously somebody's going to have to come and check the oxygen level in that pond, and they may be able to do that too.
Yes. Right.
Who knows?
Well, I do thank you. I do thank you, sir, and just keep it rolling. Yeah, you're great. You're a great man.
Good. You're very kind with your comments, and keep listening. Love to hear from you. Now,
thank you, sir.
Now,
thank you very much.
Roy, you're going to have to call me and let me know what happened now.
I will. Like I said, come Monday morning, I'm just going to go to. I reckon, to go to the commissioner's office and start there and find out exactly, where I need to go, next steps, because everything's work up a ladder around here.
Yeah, oh yeah. It'll take you some time. Have a great weekend, pal.
You too.
All right, there we go. All right, let's see. It's 33 after the hour. I don't want to go beyond this radio stuff. You have to look at the clock all the time. And I'll tell you how this works. We're at Three Falls Cabin. It's a little cabin that Gail and I have up here near Amicalola Falls in the central part of the mountains in North Georgia. I've told you this before, but I think you'll find it interesting. And the program goes from here over the internet, and I had to have a direct internet line, wired in here at great expense to local management, I'll tell you. A telephone line directly, and then it goes from here to WSB radio in Atlanta. On the WSB AM and FM signal, it goes to 30 states. Then it goes from WSB to our office, or our engineer's office and home, her studio in Peachtree City, Georgia. Then it goes from there to GOW, G-O-W, GOW Media, or the Sports Broadcast Radio Network in Texas. Then it goes from there worldwide into 112 affiliates all across the country. Staggering, isn't it? All I do is just show up and start talking. I don't know what's going on otherwise. All right, Black is calling on the line here. We've got 2 minutes. Let's talk to Black. What do you say? What do you say there, my good man? Where in the world have you been?
Well, I was telling you, buddy, there. Been in and out of the hospital, but I'm doing good.
Glad to hear it.
Enjoy your program. I was going down the road not too long ago. Heard you on the radio. But you hadn't took me fishing yet.
I know. Black, I tell you, I don't get to go fishing as much as everybody thinks.
Hey, I'm gonna have to get on to you a little bit. You promised me a long time ago.
I know. I make promises to everybody.
Hey, wait a minute. When I met you up there in Atlanta, Georgia, at the big show, I kissed you on the top of your head.
That's right.
Hey, come on now, O'Neill. You promised me you'd take me fishing.
I'm going to one day, Black.
Wait a minute. When is that one day now?
I don't know. When I get well, I must be sick.
Yeah, hey, excuses. Hey, enjoy your program, buddy. Just keep the good. Hey, I still got your hat.
Oh, good.
It's time to send me a hat.
Time to send you another one?
No, I don't. No, send it to somebody else.
Okay.
Listen, I love you, Hey, turkey hunting.
Ooh.
I can tell you, my oldest brother, next to my oldest brother, he was a president of a hunting club there in Elbert County for 33 years. He took me to his club one morning. He's disabled. Got him a big stand up in the top of the tree there. I mean, a stand with a swivel chair.
Ooh.
He said, sit down right over there. I sat down. He said, I'll have you a turkey here in a short. And lo and behold, here's a come two. Scratch, 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 scratch. I said, come on, babies.
Did you kill them both?
Babies. Come on to me. I got one. but I wish they hadn't wounded the other one.
Oh, man.
So there's the story.
All right,
hey,
that's a good story, and I'll get to it, too, later.
Listen.
Black, I got to go, buddy. I'm up against a hard break. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you, my good friend. I'm sorry I have to cut off Black. We'll be back in a minute. It's O'Neill. You're watching or listening to O'Neill Outside, the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the world. Well, that's what I claim anyway. Okay. I'm going to do radio prize package, or prize package at least, then I'll get to Roadster and the rest of the calls. Now, if you live in the Canton, Jasper, Dawsonville, Blue Ridge, Ellijay area, if you're close, I have a question for you, and the first correct answer to 404-872-0750, if you're close by, the first correct answer to the following question wins a $25 gift coupon so that you can go to Rocco's in Jasper. Ready? Here's the question. It's a local question. What is the name of the river in Georgia that flows into and creates Lake Blue Ridge? Okay? What is the name of that river? And we'll send you the radio prize package for Rocco's. And right now, let's talk to Roadster. He's been holding on. Roadster, what do you say? I hadn't heard from you in a few weeks. What's going on?
This is not the Rachel Madcow Global Progressives Communizer show?
No, you missed that one. It was earlier.
Oh, who am I speaking with?
Ultra-conservative old fisherman and hunter. How about
Hey, Shorty, good morning.
that? You're always a pleasure. What's going on, sir?
I want to, last week we were talking about who you like to meet.
Yes.
Hank Parker and his family.
Okay, good.
And then, the second would be Hank the Yank and the good old North Alabama boy named Tim Horton. I think he's a professional bass fisherman. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's at least on television as a professional bass fisherman. He may be. I do not know. But
being an old North Georgia blue Elk River river rat, I think he's from up there, and I think it was pretty good.
Yeah,
but the reason I would like for them to get together with me is because I'd like to Hank the Yank and Tim Horton get together, and Mr. Horton, let's get into a little alligator gar.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about 200-pound plus fish.
Oh, boy.
And on the Tennessee River, using tarpon fly gear furnished by Hank the Yank. I think that would be an interesting fishery.
Yes, it would.
To explore, because you know the tarpon is a antiquated fish.
Yes.
And you know they have very hard mouths, and of course we know what the alligator gar mouth looks like.
All
so
teeth.
I think that would be an interesting deal because O'Neill, I have been fishing between Decatur, Alabama, and Lake Wheeler, and I have seen using a 16-foot boat. I've had alligator gar porpoise beside my boat in excess of half the size of that boat.
Oh yeah.
I mean they're huge, and I think it's an unexplored fishery.
I caught some long nose and common gar using a string.
Right.
And that's an awful lot of fun. And you're right about wanting to meet Hank Parker. And if you have an opportunity, you'll find that he's a funny guy. He's always got a joke to tell. He's always got a smile. And he's always has a great attitude. It's like meeting an old friend. He's a good guy.
It sounds familiar, like a good old Emory graduate. Could that be O'Neill?
No, not me. I'm mean and short-sighted.
Yeah, you rascal. Best to the North Georgia Queen, Gail, and I hope to talk with you again.
You bet. Glad you called, pal.
All right, buddy. Bye.
You bet. So there you go. Let's see if we can drop that call. All right, good deal. All right. We have an answer to our question. Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and do that. It's 44 after the hour, and we're talking about a $25 gift card for Rocco's. And let's talk to Michael, and Michael is calling from Jasper, Georgia. Good morning, Michael. What do you say? You know about Rocco's, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll eat at it just about every week.
Oh yeah, good for you. You've got a coupon to take to give to Rocco and get you a free meal. So, what is the answer to my question? What is the river that feeds into and creates Blue Ridge Lake?
That would be the Toccoa River.
You bet. In and out. That's a good river and a good lake. You ever caught any walleye out of there at Blue Ridge?
I've recently moved up to Jasper, but I've been meaning to get up there to fish. Trout fishing in the tailwaters of Toccoa is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, check around. There's a lot of guys around that know how to catch walleye out of Blue Ridge Lake. And when you figure that out, I mean, he's easy to catch. I mean, he's dumb as a post, but that's the best eating fish out of fresh water, and you can catch them out of Blue Ridge Lake if you know what you're doing. But you enjoy your coupon, sir.
Thank you, O'Neill.
You bet. There we go. Maybe I'll run into you there at Rocco's. 46 after the hour. Let's talk to Art. Oh, my goodness. Here's our good friend Art calling from Bainbridge, Georgia. Good morning, Art. Where have you been, buddy?
Good morning. I've been sleeping in. What you talking about?
I wish I could.
Yeah, no. It's just been a while, and I was up. I'm going to walk behind a bird dog this morning.
Good for you.
Started early.
Yeah, good for you.
I needed to ask you something. I don't listen to you as much as I used to. What about Sheriff Crabapple? Is he still around?
Absolutely. We'll probably hear from him this morning.
Well, okay. I was hoping I didn't hear the worst.
No, he's doing very, very well. He told me last time I talked to him, I think it was last week, he told me about the fact that, he used to have a relative that had a television show years ago. His name was Gadabout Crabapple.
Gadabout. Would that be the first cousin to Gadabout Gaddy?
Yeah, that's that guy, yeah.
I remember he came down to Jack Wingate's place down here on Seminole one time.
Oh.
And Jack tells a story, said he was about to wash his shirt the color out of it because he couldn't catch any fish and he had to wear the same color shirt every day for the show.
Oh, Lord. He was a pioneer. He was one of the first fishermen on television. Gadabout Gaddy.
He sure was. Well, how's Miss Gail getting along?
She's just fine, thank you very much. We've huddled up here in the mountains of North Georgia now. We've been living up here for about 5 years, and we're hard to get to.
Well, I don't blame you. I think I'm pretty well lost, too. I
sure
don't miss that traffic, but I do miss my old buddies over at the AJC.
Mm-hmm. You betcha.
But everything changes, and I get off of here and let somebody else get in.
Well,
I just want to speak to you this morning.
What's the old thing? The only thing that's never going to change is the fact that things are always going to change.
You got that right.
All right, buddy. I'm glad you called.
Right. You take care of yourself.
You get. Good luck to you, pal. Good luck to you. There we go. 48 minutes after the hour, 404-872-0750 in the Atlanta area, and 800-972-8255 across the rest of the world. And this is O'Neill Outside Works Radio. Boy, you know something? I got a Works 2 leaf blower, a switch driver, a hedge trimmer, a chainsaw. I got the whole array of all that kind of stuff because I wanted to make sure it works before I tell all you guys about it. This stuff is great. Just hook up these batteries to these things. There's no cords to use. There's no gasoline cans. I could walk outside and on the porch. I got a screened-in porch on this side of the house, and I can be using all that stuff in 5 seconds. And all the batteries are interchangeable. Can you now let me? Then I'll shut up. Think about this, a battery-powered chainsaw. And it works. I tested it out because I had a tree to fall in this last windstorm we had. Okay. One of the things I talked about on Facebook at O'Neill Outside and had quite an interesting reaction, if you will. People seemed to like it because, well, it was fun to talk about, and that is, I went to Canada one time a few years ago on a deer hunt. We were doing a television show. I stayed there 5 days, I believe. The low temperature while I was there was minus 22. The high temperature while I was there was 1. Call and tell me about your coldest trip. What you had to go through, what you had to endure, what minus temperature and wind chill factors that you witnessed during your hunt. Might be interested. I had a lot of people on Facebook who basically said, I'm not doing that again. And the other ones, of course, this was Canada and way up in the Northeast and up in the Midwest. But we, hunters, endure some extremes. I know in the case of my own, and we all have our hunting, fishing stories that we love to tell. That's why they're so valuable. You can tell them over and over and over again. They never change. And that is, I had to drive. It was a great place, don't get me wrong. But I had to drive a four-wheeler when I was in Canada when it was minus 22 degrees in the dark. I had to drive a four-wheeler for 22 miles to get to the stand. There was no heater in the stand, and my cameraman and I, we had to put body warmers, like hand warmers, those chemical body warmers they're designed to put on your kidneys next to your skin to keep your blood warm. And we had to put those on the cameras, the sides of the camera, to keep the camera from freezing. It was quite an adventure, and here I am telling you about it, and that was probably 15 years ago. So tell me about your coldest trip. Impress me with it, what you went through, and what were the temperatures that day. Fishing or hunting, but the coldest temperature is usually on a hunting trip somewhere. I fished one time at Lake Hartwell, and it was 3. The boats were frozen to the trailers, but that's a whole nother story. 53 after the hour on a Saturday morning, and you're listening to Works Radio, WORX. And one of these days I'll tell you the story about that company and the man who started it. It's inspirational how he started Works Tools. Gives you an idea of what intelligence and hard work and ingenuity and effort and dedication can do if you just stick with it. This is O'Neill, 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255, and we'll be back, I promise, if you can stand it. All right, 57 after the hour. We've got another hour of outdoors headed your way. Don't leave, but right now I want to do this. My friend T.J. Stallings, a fabulous fisherman, fabulous educator, and every week we have TJ's True Turn Tackle Tips, and this is really a good one. When you've been in salt water or even fresh and you want to clean up your reels, do not use a hose or a power sprayer to clean the reel. What you do is you force in impurities in the gearbox of the reel. Don't do that. Take the reel and just put it in a bucket for a couple of minutes, and that'll get the stuff off of it. It'll clean it up. Then spray the reel with Reel Magic or something of that nature just for a couple of minutes and dry it off, and it'll protect the reel and the line from UV radiate rays. But don't power spray your reels. It sounds like you should, especially in salt water, but just put the reels down in a bucket of fresh water for a couple of minutes. It'll make the reels last a long time. And that is your True Turn tackle tip from TJ Stallings. He was a good friend and one of the most pleasant people I've ever known in the fishing tackle business. He's gone now, and I miss him. True Turn tackle tip from TJ. You can look it up on O'Neill Outside and the website at True Turn. Isn't it funny? I'll tell you the story. I think I've got time. No, I don't. This is O'Neill with no. Yeah, I've got time. A fellow by the name of John Campbell. This is many years ago. He worked at an Air Force base there in Montgomery. I got to go in a second here. And he ran one of those old IBM machines, you know, with the cards that come sliding out of the machine. And he figured out that if you took a paper clip with a bend in a paper clip, you could stick it in those cards and you could turn it and it would straighten them all out. But he took that idea and thought, maybe it might be a good idea to have a fishing hook with a bend in it, a la the True Turn hook. John Campbell, many years ago. We'll be back. This is O'Neill.